So the Cheltenham Festival starts on Tuesday. Back once again with all my selections and tips for the festival. We kick off at 1:30 as always with the Supreme Novice Hurdle. I'm quite keen to take on the two Willie Mullins favourites here. The horse I like is Jeriko du Reponet for Nicky Henderson and Nico de Bonville. Now, he was anti-post favourite for this a while ago, and you can still back him at 8-1, which I think is a cracking price. Won his point-to-point, moved to Nicky Henderson's, and is 3 from 3 over hurdles since moving to the yard. His first two races weren't anything exciting, but he won them easily enough on the bridle. And he had a hard race last time out, which I think stands him in good stead for this. That was a Grade 2. The form's worked out pretty well with a second coming and winning a Grade 2 since. I say 8-1's a fair enough price for the horse. I think the race will be run to suit. I say the first couple of races he didn't have to come off the bridle, but he travelled really well through them. Stronger run race he's going to get here. I can see him travelling well through it. Nicky Henderson's got a great record in this race. I think he's won 3 of the last 8 renewals. You know, horses like Altior and Shishkin. Obviously Constitution Hill last year or the year before. So yeah, Jeriko du Reponet. I think 8-1's a cracking bet. I'm going to play him win and each way. 2:10, it's the Arkle Novice Chase. Again, the Willie Mullins horses here I sort of want to take on. The two at the top of the betting, Gaelic Warrior and Ilete Tomps. They're both disappointed at previous festivals. At the price, I'm willing to give them a miss. I'm going to side with another English horse again. This one trained by Joe Tizard, and the horse is JPR One. 9-1 as we speak, a decent price. 2 from 4 over fences since switching to this code at the start of the season. Probably should have won a trial for this race at Cheltenham. He was probably about 7 or 8 lengths clear when he stumbled on landing at the last, but he was coming up that hill pretty strong. I think he was going to win that. Disappointing in a run at Sandown, but I'll forgive him going that way around in what was quite testing ground. And he finally got it all together last time out at Lingfield in the Lightning Novice Chase. That was a Grade 2, step up to Grade 1 here. But I think he can do it. I think he'll run well at least and give you a run for your money. So 9-1, you know, another each way price I think for everyone. Not got a lot to find on the figures. And you know, if you're happy like me to take on the Willie Mullins team, then yeah, JPR One for Team Tizard, 9-1. Next up is 2:50. It's the Ultima Chase, the first of the big handicaps of the meeting. We've got 23-24 runners going to post for this, so yeah, it's going to be tricky to find the winner. Although usually the market's quite a good guide for this. They do generally come from the top of the betting. The one thing I would say about this race is the Irish have got a terrible record in it. They've not won it since 2006. And Willie Mullins in particular has never won a handicap chase at Cheltenham. With that in mind, the horse I do like is Chianti Classico for Kim Bailey, and David Bass takes the ride. Currently around 7-1 mark. I think he's about 3rd or 4th favourite in the book at the moment. Kim Bailey can still get one ready for this. He had a good runner. I think finished 3rd a couple of years ago. This horse has only had 3 runs over fences, so he's completely unexposed. Handicap mark of 143. I think he's probably slightly better than that. Unlike a lot of novices coming into these races, he has had a big field handicap experience, finishing 2nd at Kempton last time in a decent chase for a big pot. Going back this way around now, going left-handed, I think should suit him. So yeah, that's Chianti Classico, 7-1. Obviously with this race you'll be getting 5 or 6 places each way, so any horse in his big field handicaps I always suggest backing each way. The other horse I like in this race, I say with 24 runners, I'll pick 2 out, is Monbeg Genius for John Joe O'Neill. Finished 3rd in the race last year, but obviously that form worked out really well with Corrick Rambler going on to win the Grand National. Fast or Slow went on to win a Grade 1. So the 2 horses that beat him have really proved out to be superstars. I think 12 to 1's a fair enough each way price for the horse. He's got to run a £5 higher mark than he was in the race last year, but I think this is possibly a weaker renewal. And there's a good record of horses that run in this and come back the next year and do well. I'm thinking of horses like Beware the Bear, Vintage Clouds. Obviously, Corrit Rambler won back to back, didn't he? So, yeah, I say he finished third in the race that used to be the Hennessy this season, and they put a cheek piece on for the first time. So, yeah, Monbeg Genius 12 to 1 would be my second choice, but my main fancy would be Chianti Classico at 7 to 1. I'm going to back the pair each way. 3:30, the feature of the day is the Champion Hurdle. No Constitution Hill this year, which leaves it pretty much a penalty kick for Stateman as far as I can see. Obviously, I've opposed in a few of the Willie Mullins ones early on the day, but this is one that I will not be opposing. He is 3s on though, so it's not really a race you're going to get stuck into. If you did fancy one of the outsiders, I thought Iberico Lord could run well. 12 to 1 each way, or maybe without the favourite, or maybe in the straight forecast. Obviously, he was good in the Great Wood Hurdle and the Betfair Hurdle, but those were handicaps. This is a Grade 1. He's stepping up against Stateman, who's already won 3 Grade 1s over in Ireland this year, and I mean, he's a different league to these, isn't he? So, yeah, Stateman to win that, and Iberico Lord probably to finish second. Next up, 4:10, it's the Mares Hurdle and another Willie Mullins hot pot. And this one is an absolute banker. It's Lossiemouth. She's currently best price of 8 to 13. I think you could probably put her in the double with Stateman if you're that way inclined. I mean, she was incredible when she won the Triumph last year, and arguably even better on her return at Cheltenham when she won the International Hurdle. I'm struggling to see any dangers. The main danger might be that final hurdle, which has found these colours out before. If you remember, Benny Deju, Annie Power. It has happened, so it's one that I wouldn't be steaming into. But 8 to 13, like, I think she should be closer to 2s on myself. If you did want to play the alternative, a slightly bigger price, then you've got Love Envoi there. She finished second in the race last year behind Honeysuckle. Also finished second behind Lossiemouth last time out. And she's finished second in a Grade 1, so she's very, very consistent. Probably doesn't get ahead in front enough, but she does go well on the ground. And at 14 to 1, I think she's a fair enough each way price. So that's Lossiemouth for the win, and Envoi Love Envoi to finish second or place at least. Next up is 4:50. It's the Boodles Juvenile Hurdle, the Fred Winter as it's known, the handicap. And this is a muddling race. You've got a lot of unexposed horses here. The market's a very bad guide. We've had winners of this at 16 to 1. I think I tipped a winner last year. Jazzy Matty was 16 to 1. I've seen 33 shots go in here. I think we even had an 80 to 1 shot a few years ago in Jeff Kidder. So ignore the favourites, ignore all the shorties at the front of the market. Pick a few long shots out. The ones I liked both came from a race in Naas last time out, which has served as quite a good prep run for this over the years. And that would be Nara of Henry de Bromhead. She's 14 to 1. And the other one is Bright Legend, who was rated 88 on the flat. Was second in that race at Naas. And he's a 25 to 1 shot here. So, yeah, Nara at 14 to 1. Bright Legend, 25 to 1. Both trained in Ireland, both unexposed, and hopefully they'll do well for us at a big price in this one. Final race of the day is the 5:30. It's the National Hunt Chase. Sadly, only 7 runners, so there won't be much to play for in the each-way market. Only a tentative selection here, but I'm going to go for Corbetts Cross. Currently a best price of 2 to 1. I'm just happy to take on Embassy Gardens for the Willie Mullins stable. And I think Emmett Mullins has got one here. Corbetts Cross went off favourite for the Albert Bartlett last year, but ended up running through the rail. Derek O'Connor's booked, who's one of the best amateur riders. Obviously, they're all amateur riders in this. Admittedly, they're all probably quite good. So that's probably not much help. But yeah, MC Gardens is one that I do think can get beat. He's had a few sort of egg and spoon races as far as I can see. And Corbetts Cross, although it's probably a bit further than he'd want, I think he's a class above these. And if Corbetts Cross stays, and if nothing unfortunate happens, yeah, I think he'll get us off to a winner on the final race of the day. So that's all for day one. Please remember to gamble responsibly. You know, this is only the first day of 4. It is a marathon, not a sprint. So hopefully we'll back a few winners though. And yeah, make sure you enjoy the racing and stay tuned for my next tips for the Wednesday.